is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are the Fourth. We are so.
Well, fans, I can't tell you how to get to Sesame Street, but I can tell you how to get to Broad Street, and that's where Citizens Bank Ballpark stands as the Braves try to complete a 3-game sweep over the Philadelphia Phillies. It's a big day for Casey Kelly. He'll make his first start as an Atlanta Brave as Atlanta tries to wrap up a 5-5 road trip. Chip and Joe back at the ballpark. Should be a fun day for baseball today. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, a chance to come home with a 500 road trip and for Casey Kelly to make his starting debut for the Atlanta Braves. That's going to be a good day, I think, and especially if the weather cooperates.
Yeah, Casey Kelly, a former #1 pick of the Red Sox, was traded in the Anthony Rizzo deal. The Braves got him from the Padres, took a flyer on a guy that can throw hard with Tommy John surgery, and we've seen him already this year.
And he's a couple years removed from that Tommy John surgery, and I think he's just now rounding back into that first-round type form. 10 career Major League games, all with the Padres, and 7 games at Gwinnett where he was lights out. The guy's got a good fastball and an outstanding curveball. Can't wait to see that in action today.
Jared Eichhoff is the man pitching for the Philadelphia Phillies. Don't know if he wants to face this Braves offense, which has suddenly gotten very hot indeed. The Braves go for the sweep and a 5-5 road trip. It's been as simple as ABC for Atlanta. We'll get to first pitch and lineups right after this.
Atlanta Braves baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. Hyundai Sunday on Fox Sports South is presented by your local Hyundai dealers.
breezy day here in Philadelphia as the Braves try to finish off a 3-game sweep of the Phillies, and also, Joe, try to finish off this 3-city road trip with a 5-5 record. And considering who the Braves have played, that would be quite an accomplishment for this ball club.
It sure would, Chip. And there was actually a little bit of dread going out on the road trip because the team wasn't playing very well. But to think about going to Kansas City, Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia, all three teams were playing well, especially the Pittsburgh Pirates, where the Braves were able to only pull out one win. But think about it, it was in Pittsburgh where the Braves really got their bats going, hitting 9 home runs in a 5-game span beginning in Pittsburgh. So all of that has really gotten the offense going. Starting pitching has been very good for the most part, and it's been fun to watch. And I think come home 5-5 would be quite a feat.
And to do that, they have to sweep the Phillies today, and their young starter, Jared Eichhoff, who enters play today with a record of 1-6 on the year. Another day, another lineup for Brian Snitker. Let's take a look at how he's got him set up. Inciarte and d'Arnaud 1-2 at the top of the starting 9. Freddie Freeman and Nick Markakis third and fourth. Gordon Beckham another start at second base. He's been swinging a hot bat. A.J. Przinsky, Daniel Castro, Kelly, and Smith 8th and 9th. And again, Braves have already seen Jared Eichhoff this year, and they've already beaten him once.
And that was May 11th at Atlanta. 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits and a walk. Gave up 4 runs, 3 were earned. But it's not just the Braves that are giving him problems. His last 5 starts, 0-4 with a 6.18 ERA and averaging pitching 5 2/3 innings. He's due for a good game, but boy, he's had a rough time of it lately.
And as you mentioned, the Braves have found their home run stroke. Eichhoff has given up 7 homers in his last 34 2/3 innings of work. So we'll see how things turn out today as Ender Inciarte digs in to get this game started. Inciarte is 1 for 8 in the series with a .215 average. And his first is in for a strike, says Rob Drake, today's home plate umpire. 65 degrees, wind blowing from right to left as this one's hit a mile high on the infield. And Freddie Galvis at shortstop, in on the grass, puts the squeeze on that, and we're underway. 1 down.
Eichhoff's fastball in the low 90s, tops out at around 93 miles an hour. And like Casey Kelly, he's got a good curveball too. Curveball, slider, change.
Well, here's Chase d'Arnaud. Boy, has he been impressive at the top of the batting order for the Braves. Really anywhere Atlanta's played him. He's had a good series here in Philly. 3 hits yesterday, a career high. And batting .394 for the year. He's also done a nice job at third base, where he plays in Game 3. And he's our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot feature.
His last 5 games, in kind of coinciding with the power surge the Braves have had, he's been 9 for 19 with 3 doubles to bump his average up to a cool .394.
He fought that ball off to stay alive. It's 0-2. Tip of the cap to the Philadelphia Phillies grounds crew today. We were commenting last evening about what a swamp the infield turned into with all the rain that fell pretty much from the opening pitch of Game 2 till the end of the game. The field was covered overnight. They couldn't bring tractors onto the infield to get some of that mud and muck removed, but they went through bag after bag of that drying compound and hand raked the infield for about 3 hours today, as d'Arnaud will be thrown out after a check swing strikeout for the 2nd out of the inning.
Hand drag, hand rake, just work after work after work to try to get it smoothed out, because it did rain all through the night. That tarp was down from the time the game ended yesterday, and it's a good thing they got the tarp down and the game ended yesterday, because the skies opened up when we left.
So not a lot of dirt on the top of that infield. What effect will that have for the infielders?
Well, all that drying agent is kind of pebbly. I mean, it's loose, and they do their best to try to roll it, but it's loose on top and it's going to be wet underneath. It should be kind of fast and slick on top. I don't know what kind of grab it's going to have underneath because of that moisture. Might see some guys on the infield sliding around, though.
Shift on for Freddie Freeman. Freddie Galvis is the lone man on the left side of the diamond as Freeman unloads with a towering fly ball. That one is way out of play, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Freddie's up to 8 homers, 15 RBIs. 2 of those homers have come here.
And another one against Philadelphia and Eichhoff in Atlanta.
Strike 3, a breaking ball. Freeman takes a look. He thought that was a little too tight, but Rob Drake rings him up. Eichhoff with a perfect top of the first. Kelly to debut as an Atlanta Braves starter after some terrific work with Gwinnett.
26 years old, 6'3", 215 out of Sarasota, Florida. At Gwinnett this year, 7 games, 5 of those were starts. And the one thing that really jumped out at me, 37 2/3 innings. He's only given up 22 hits. That's a 169 batting average against him. His 4 keys to pitching success today. Hook him. He's got a good hook. Throws in the low 90s with a good curveball. 4 lefties in the lineup. Lefties at Gwinnett were 4 for 41 against him, hitting .098. Bingo.
And he's got a lefty to start. Odubel Herrera's the Phillies center fielder. And Kelly's first pitch is in for a strike. This is not Casey's first go-round with Atlanta this year. You might recall he pitched 3 innings of relief against the Mets in late April.
He had Tommy John surgery back in 2013, missed all of the 13 season, only pitched in a rehab since in the 14 season in the low minors.
Fly ball well hit toward left center field. That ball is going to get down. Great try by Malik Smith. But Herrera has a leadoff double for the Phillies. That snaps an 0-for-11 slide. Malik's almost got there.
He would have gotten there and was going to get there, but that wind is galing so hard in from right field, it pushed this ball away from him. A little bat flip there from Herrera. I guess he thought he hit a homer because he was not running hard out of the box and only got a double out of this. But that ball being pushed away from him, no chance for Malik to track it down. Oh, man, almost.
So Herrera has his 3rd double. That brings up Cesar Hernandez, the Phillies' second baseman. hitting .261 for the year. Braves think he's going to try a bunt. No sign of that, as the first one is off the plate, ball one. It's no secret the Phillies win with their pitching. They are an offensively challenged club. Philadelphia and the Braves have scored an equal number of runs this year, but the Phillies hitting just .230 as a team. The Braves are actually 3 points higher in team batting average. Fly ball center. Malix drifts back. Look at that wind push that ball toward the warning track. Herrera tags. He's on his way to third, and he'll make it standing up. Productive out for Hernandez on a deep fly out to center. And the Phillies lineup has a very noticeable change for Pete Mackanin today. No Ryan Howard. He was benched. And Tommy Joseph gets the start in the cleanup spot, despite a right-hander pitching for Atlanta today.
It was bound to happen. It was just a matter of when. In terms of that play for Joseph.
So here's Miguel Franco. And the first hook missed upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. After this game, the Phillies head to Detroit, where they can use the DH. Pretty good chance you'll see Ryan Howard back in the lineup against the Tigers. That caught a corner, and it's an even count. Kelly was a terrific high school athlete at Sarasota High School in Florida. He was a big-time quarterback prospect who was on his way to the University of Tennessee after throwing 37 touchdowns and throwing for over 4,200 receiving yards. But the Red Sox took him as a #1 overall pick. He went to the Padres for Anthony Rizzo in the big Adrian Gonzalez deal. No swing. And the Braves got Casey Kelly from the Padres in a deal for catcher Christian Bethancourt.
Key pitch right here. Might get him to expand his zone a little bit.
Franco's seen enough of those inside pitches for one series, don't you think?
Yeah.
Almost had his bell rung last night on one up and in that was originally ruled a hit by pitch, but on review turned into a foul ball. Fly ball toward left. Inciarte comes in. He's got a good arm, and that's not going to be deep enough. A soft fly to left by Franco holds Herrera at third. There are 2 men out.
Once again, you saw Ender Inciarte play that so well. He got in no hurry to come in and stand under the baseball. He timed it so that he was coming to the ball when he caught it and had his momentum going to home plate. There's the crow hop. Just great footwork. It's cutoff man textbook stuff.
So that's a big second out. Now Tommy Joseph digs in. A couple of pinch hit assignments for Joseph, who takes a ball high. 1 ball, no strikes. That one's hit to right. Markakis retreats, and he's going to make the play at the edge of the warning track. Kelly works around a leadoff double. The Phillies hit 3 fly balls and can't bring home the game's first run. very versatile Nick Markakis leads off in a scoreless game.
He's been all over the place in the batting order, most of it at the leadoff spot, but lately has been moved around by Brian Snitker, and today back in the cleanup spot.
And the thinking for Brian, you've got your top RBI guy on the club batting fourth. Hopefully he'll have some men on to increase that total and help the Braves score a few more runs. He's leading off the second and sports a .252 average. Eichhoff had a couple of first inning strikeouts. And the first pitch bouncing ball, fair ball. Joseph's got it. Easy play, 1 out. Here's Gordon Beckham. Gordon's had a good series and is enjoying a good run at the plate. He's gotten on base 16 of his last 18 games with 4 multi-hit games in the last 9 he has played. And he takes a strike.
Eichhoff was involved in a major deal between the Phillies and the Rangers. He was a 15th round pick in 2011 by the Rangers, but came over in the Cole Hamels deal last summer.
That one off the pitcher's glove. It deflects out to Hernandez. His throw to first is in time. And Beckham's retired for out number 2, a 1-4-3 scoring play.
Eichhoff's last start, that's part of this bad run he's been on, was against Miami here 6 days ago. 6 innings, only gave up 3 runs and a couple of walks, but got beat 5-3. Very little run support.
And a good hook has A.J. Pierzynski behind. No balls and a strike. Well, that I think is going to be the challenge for the young pitchers for both the Braves and Phillies all summer long. Can they keep their teams in the games, because their offenses are going to struggle to get them 4 runs a game. It's just stating the facts. Phillies have been outscored by 36 runs this year. The Braves have been outscored by 66 runs. As AJ hits one out towards second, and the throw to first is in time. 6 up, 6 down for Eichhoff. We go to the home second. No score.
to the bottom of the second, and Casey Kelly getting the nod for the Braves today, making his big league debut for Atlanta. A very special day for him because he's actually a big Braves fan. He grew up a Braves fan, even has the Atlanta logo on his glove. And then Matt Whistler, a very familiar face for him in the clubhouse. You know, they actually came up through the Padres organization together and were locker buddies 2 springs ago. So nice to have somebody kind of get him acquainted to the starting rotation here, especially under such a successful guy like Matt Whistler.
That's a good point, Kelsey. A little comfort level there to know somebody in a new clubhouse.
And I mentioned that Casey was a terrific athlete. He was drafted as a pitcher with the Red Sox, but wanted to play shortstop. As this one's hammered down the right field line, curling toward the pole, and it is a line drive home run for Cameron Rupp, the Phillies catcher, and they strike first in the second. That home run stops a Braves scoreless pitched streak at 18 innings. It's 1-0.
Left it upstairs, and that was one thing, but the fact that this ball stayed in the ballpark, stayed fair, and then went around the pole out of the ballpark, I'm shocked. I thought it would have a big time slice to it, and it didn't.
So Rupp's second home run makes it 1-0. As Freddie Galvis digs in. To finish the story on Casey Kelly, wanted to play shortstop for the Red Sox. So his 2009 season, he started in Greenville, played shortstop and hit .222. Second half of the season, he went to Salem, where they said, all right, you're going to pitch. He went 6-1 with a 1.12 ERA. In December of that year, he said, I'm officially a pitcher.
Yeah.
And a ground to right side. Freeman handles, flips to cover. And there's out number 1. And just for the record, if my grandfather were doing this game between Casey Kelly and Kelsey, we'd have no shot. You might get a Casey Kelsey is on before the afternoon is done. Hey. 1 out. Here's Tyler Goodell. Goodell, a Rule 5 pick. He's got to stay on the Phillies roster all year or be offered back to the Tampa Bay Rays. And he's got 5 hits in his last 3 games. And the Rays might need an outfielder. Tough break for them. Kevin Kiermaier, a terrific outfielder, broke his wrist yesterday. That's hammered toward left center. Smith on the run, still going, not going to get there. That'll 2-hop off the fence. And Goodell on his way to second. He's going to round the bag. He's on his way to third. The relay throw off target and backed up by Kelly, and that's a good thing. That ball was a bounce away from going into the dugout. And Goodell has a 3-base hit.
This was hard hit, and somewhere between the knees and the belt. He didn't miss it. I thought they had a crack at him at third base, but Beckham's relay, I think it was Beckham's throw, was way off the mark. Overthrew the first cutoff man. It was Gordon, and you're right. Look how Darno's having to dive for the ball, and if Casey doesn't get over there and cut it off, it goes in the dugout. That's why you back up.
So that saved a run for the moment as the pitcher Eichhoff is up there, infield in for Atlanta. Eichhoff's got 4 hits this year. And a chopper hit towards short. That won't get the second run home. 2 out. It really is pick your poison for a manager, is it not? Batting the pitcher 8th or 9th in the National League. We've seen it a lot in this series where run scoring spots, the 8th place man's been a pitcher and not a position player.
Yeah, it's just the risk you take, hoping that they're in a position to do some bunting again instead of having to drive in a run. So just like the first inning, pitching around the double, maybe Casey can pitch around this triple.
Peter Borges takes outside. He's the Philly right fielder. Borges with 6 runs batted in this year. and batting .193. Up the middle, and it's 2-0. So Borges with a 2-out hit. And the Phillies have a double, homer, triple, and single. They've hit for the cycle as a club, and they've jumped in front by 2 in inning number 2.
It's a big deal for Eichhoff, who doesn't get any runs to work with to speak of, and you get 2 early ones. That's a big deal for him.
Herrera doubled to start the game. And Borges somehow got back. Freddie Freeman with a tag looks into the Atlanta dugout. Braves might want to check this one. Freddie says he tagged Borges.
Well, he was going, and you see Borges kicking a lot of that drying agent away over there. His foot slipped a little bit. He was trying to dig a toe hold as a base runner. Got him. His hand was trying to go to the back side of the base. It wasn't on the base, and Freddie got him. Are they going to appeal? Wow, really?
Guess not.
Huh.
Borges looked out.
Yeah, he did.
But no challenge for Atlanta as Herrera awaits his first pitch. And Kelly with a rare first pitch strike. He's 3 for 10.
Phillies, as Chip told you during this series, have not been real good in stealing bases. They had quite a few, but they're only at 50% success rate. And that includes Borges, who's 2 out of 4. Let's see how he's kicked all that drying agent out of the way so he can get some firm footing. And below it, pretty wet.
He's got no shot of stealing a base because, Joe, his first step is going to be uphill. And he's dug a crater out there. One ball, one strike. And I would think that's kind of digging around that could pose some defensive problems for Joseph and Freeman. If there's not a runner on, the ball might hit one of those gullies and take an odd bounce.
Well, the rest of the infield as well. They don't know what's under the drying agent. They don't know how smooth it is. They don't know how soft it is. This field really took a beating yesterday.
That's fouled off A.J. Pierzynski. Count now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
But again, they couldn't get the drags on the field. They couldn't drive on the field. It was still that wet. Ground crew did everything they possibly could.
A homer, a triple, and a 2-out single has Philadelphia in front 2-0. Herrera likes to swing the bat. However, he's also walked 30 times.
I know, and we talked about that at the beginning of the series. He's walked more times already than he did all of last year, but you couldn't prove it by this series. He's been swinging at any and everything.
Close again. That time Borges went back standing up. You know Borges will be going. Freddie Freeman with some housekeeping work along the base paths. He'll play behind the runner with a 3-2 count. Runner goes. Swing, pop fly, foul, and into the seats. Again, the runner goes, and another foul ball.
Always chasing that off-speed pitch. Chased another one just a minute ago. Missed too badly with that one.
So a long inning continues. Herrera on for a second time. 2 on, 2 out, 2 in. And Cesar Hernandez is coming up. But first, a visit from the pitching coach.
Pep talk maybe about getting ahead of the hitters. He got ahead of Herrera but couldn't put him away. It's a slow walk out by Roger McDowell. His 30 seconds has long elapsed. Maybe having a comment from Mr. Drake.
I think you're exactly right.
So is AJ.
Now Drake with a long look into the Braves dugout. Interesting. Here's Hernandez. He flied out to center his first time. Oh, 2. Managed to strand these two Phillies and keep it a 2-0 game. Bottom part of the order coming up in the third for the Braves. Let's see what he goes to try to put him away. Broken bat right off his hands, and the flip to first is in time. Cameron Rupp hit a line drive down the right field line that the wind may have affected. He kept it fair, and that's the first run of the game. His second home run. Goodell a triple, and Borges a 2-out single. Makes it 2-0 Phillies after 2.
Atlanta Braves baseball is sponsored by Delta Airlines and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Well, like the Atlanta Braves, the Philadelphia Phillies do a wonderful job of chronicling their team history. That's the Phillies Hall of Fame that's located inside the ballpark. That picture, of course, of Steve Carlton, one of the nastiest pitchers in baseball history, sporting those robin's egg blue uniforms that were so stylish back in your day.
You bet.
Daniel Castro is up for the Braves. It's 6 up, 6 down for Jared Eichhoff, who likes his home mound much better than the road so far in 2016. He's got 2 runs to play with early.
Talking about Eichhoff and his inability to get any run support during this bad streak he's been on. Well, part of it is right there. Second lowest in the National League in terms of run support. He's already got 2 to work with today. That's a big boost.
That's rolled foul.
Daniel Castro in one of those 0-2 or 1-2 counts again. First time up.
You can see that diamond drive puffing when the ball is bounced foul at the plate. Line drive right field. Borges comes on. That ball was trapped. And Castro's aboard with the first Braves hit of the game. And a good start to inning number 3.
Good for Daniel. He needed a base hit. Almost robbed, but a short hop there and a trap by Borges, who in his career has played primarily center field.
So let's see what Casey can do. As we mentioned, a former shortstop in the minor leagues. He showed bunt, not surprisingly. It's 2-0 Phillies. Braves batting in the 3rd. There's the bunt, and it's perfect. Good sacrifice. Castro at second. A 5-4 sacrifice, and that'll bring up Malik Smith. And that's our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard today.
Alex has his average up to 240 thanks to good work on this road trip for the Braves. Season leaders against right-handed pitching. Look at Chase Darno coming into the game today. Outstanding. Alex Smith 4th on the team at 306. 636. You're hitting 636 for any reason or any stat. Gotta like it. You just don't get to see it very much.
No question. I couldn't hit 636 against my 7-year-old son Tristan, for crying out loud.
No, you couldn't.
Thanks a lot. Braves hitting 265 with runners in scoring position this year. And Malik hits one a mile high towards center. And Adubel Herrera is going to come in and make the play. That's the second out. And we go back to the top and Ender Inciarte. Ender popped out to start the game. And is 1 for 9 in this series against the Phillies.
Braves bats have cooled a little bit. They've only scored in 1 inning out of the last 11. Part of that due to the conditions yesterday that deteriorated so rapidly after about the 3rd or 4th inning. Neither team did much the second half of the game. Jay Starno said he couldn't remember the last time he played in a game, major or minor leagues, where there were actual puddles within the lines.
One ball, one strike. Popped into right at Borges. Peters in a couple of steps, makes the play. And the Braves can't cash in. A leadoff single from Daniel Castro. 2-0 Phillies with your 2.5. Third time for our Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light.
Last 12 games, Braves have won 9 out of the 12 against the Phillies, scoring on average almost 4 runs a game. Starters ERA and the bullpen ERA outstanding. Brought to you by Coors Light, my beer.
These two teams have played over 2,100 games since 1900. The Braves have won 1,101 of them and are 59-54 here at Citizens Bank Park. Casey Kelly got a lot of ground ball outs at Gwinnett. He's gotten a lot of fly ball outs today in Philly. See how that works out.
He's been upstairs. He's been above the knees with a lot of those hard hit balls.
Franco, Joseph, and Rupp are coming up. And a ground ball towards short. Castro's got it. And just throw to first in plenty of time. 1 out.
See how Daniel went down to one knee there? You know, he's not quite sure what kind of bounce he's going to get either on this infield today. In between hop too, but he was just making sure.
And it still got him up on the heel of the glove. 1 out. Here's Tommy Joseph. Got to root for guys like this. Players that were big-time prospects. That injuries got him sidetracked. Concussions just about every year of his professional career forced him from behind the plate. Was taken off the 40-man roster for the Phillies. He could have been picked by any team in Major League Baseball. Nobody did. Phillies stockpiled him down at AAA, put him at first base. At Lehigh Valley, he tore it up, and now here he is. And with the struggles of Ryan Howard offensively, Ryan in the last year of his contract, the Phillies are looking for his eventual replacement in the lineup and at first base. Foul past Juan Samuel, a ball and 2 strikes.
Talking to Jeff Francoeur today before the game, he was talking about Ryan Howard as his teammate last year. What a class act he is, what a good guy he is, what a good teammate he is, and how all of his teammates hate to see the way he's struggling.
That's popped up. Let's see if AJ could go 2 for 2 in pop-ups. Yes, he can. No jump this time.
A little hop, though.
Little hop. 2 outs.
He's hot now. There he goes.
He's telling somebody that's 2 in a row. What's your point about Ryan Howard?
But just that with his struggles that don't seem to be improving any, that this isn't a slump. This is a decline in ability, and now everybody feels for him because of it.
I would think this is a tough town to go through that, no matter what your pedigree is here with the Phillies. And in his day, Ryan Howard was one of the great offensive players in the major leagues. And so the Phillies are left with a very difficult choice. Bench him, keep playing him, or do you shake hands and say thank you and move on? They still have to pay him, and there's a big buyout on his contract that's owed Ryan Howard at the end of the year. But the question is, where the Phillies are as an organization, is Ryan Howard playing helping them or hurting them?
Right now he's hurting them. At the plate, in the field, his mobility is greatly reduced. And that's something that Pete Mackanin has to wrestle with as his manager.
One ball, 2 strikes for Cameron Rupp, who homered down the right field line in his first at bat today.
Trying to give a great player his due and give him the respect that he deserves and has earned, but also acknowledging that he's not the player he once was.
Castro another chance, and Kelly's starting to get the ball on the ground. A couple of ground ball outs here in the Phillies' 3rd inning. It's 2-0.
The 4th inning, and it is time for a minor league update brought to you by Synovus, greatness made here. We're going to keep an eye looking at Shea Simmons. He had a long outing over there 3 innings pitched for Gwinnett. You know, he's coming off of that Tommy John surgery. They're hoping to get him back in this bullpen soon. And then Dansby Swanson staying hot. 3 for 6 last night. He's riding an 8-game hit streak down in Double-A. And then Mike Soroka, I've been saying that name all season, a 2.32 ERA in the last 8 starts. So I will continue to remind you, Braves country, the future is bright.
You're right about that, Kelsey. Thank you very much. Touki Toussaint also went 6 innings with 1 walk in his last outing for the Rome Braves. That's another name to keep an eye on.
Shea Simmons, another perfect inning last night with Rome and his rehab. Had a strikeout. Gwinnett had a long rain delay last night, but they won the ball game against Charlotte. And Aaron Blair started the game before he was removed because of the 2-hour rain delay. He went 3 innings, gave up 1 run, and struck out 4. So hopefully that helps him get back on track.
Second time through the lineup now for Jared Eichhoff. He's got Chase Darno leading off the Braves. Phillies 2, Atlanta nothing. And a roller toward Franco. He makes the clean play and gets his man for the first out. So Darno's 0 for 2. And here's Freddie Freeman. Freddie took a called third strike that he thought was way inside back in the opening inning. Ripped on the first pitch into right field. Borges will try to cut it off. He does with a backhand. And it's a solid single for Freddie Freeman with 1 out.
Taking no chances this time on getting to a pitcher's count, and didn't miss a good hitter's pitch. Shift or no shift.
A man aboard for Nick Markakis, who hit a homer here in Philly to left. That's the way the wind's blowing. If Nick can lift one out that way with that short porch, he could tie it with 1 swing. Braves hit 9 homers in their first 36 games of the year. They've hit 9 homers in their last 6 games on this trip. Even count. Squibb toward Joseph. He'll fire a strike to second. The return throw to the pitcher. Pretty double play. 3-6-1 ends the Atlanta 4th. Phillies having a good day so far with the leather and with the bats. They enjoy a 2-0 advantage.
Presented by your local Hyundai dealers.
Can't wait to come back to Philadelphia when we actually have blue skies. I haven't seen much of the sun this trip to the city of brotherly love, but hopefully better luck in July. Atlanta's taken the first 2 games of the series, trails game 3 2-0 as Casey Kelly goes to work. And Galvis greets him with a base hit toward right. That's headed for the corner. Galvis can fly. He's got 2 for sure. He's going to make the turn at third. He's going to be waved on. The throw to third is going to be way late, and the Phillies have another triple.
See what the pitch was again. Change up. And I wouldn't say it was up, but it was too high. And Galvis was able to make an adjustment on it. And an easy trek around the bases. Braves not playing him to pull, so a long way to go for Markakis to get this one.
It's the second triple for Galvis. And Tyler Goodell, who had the first Philly triple on the day, is the man in the batter's box. The Braves will bring the infield in with nobody out. That hit him.
Must have grazed his helmet because AJ caught the ball. AJ still not sure. Ricocheted off his helmet. Breaking ball into AJ's glove.
Good thing Goodell turned toward the catcher on that pitched ball. Otherwise, that had a pretty serious incident there. 2 on, nobody out. And Eichhoff, Philly pitcher, tried to bunt. It's back to the screen. A strike.
Not a suicide squeeze, but a safety squeeze. If he'd gotten it down, Galvis would have tried to come home.
Eichhoff's got 4 hits, 2 RBIs, so he can handle the bat. Swinging this time and fouled away. 0-2.
They put the butt back on with 2 strikes.
Let's see. Not with that pitch. Eichhoff at the plate. 4 strikeouts, no sacrifices. First and third, nobody out. Grounder, foul.
But Galvis moving on contact. Braves middle infielders have backed up for a potential double play opportunity in an effort to try to make this a short inning, even if it gives up a run.
Over the mound, off Kelly's glove, and the flip to first is in time.
Wow.
If he gloves it, you might hold Galvis at third. Instead, the Phillies get their third run.
Well, another thing, too, if he doesn't touch it, chance for a double play. The Phillies won on both ends there. No double play, and they still got the run in.
And now Goodell in scoring position. It's 3-0. Here's Borges. He has an RBI single that brought home Goodell in the second. That skipped up there. 1 ball, no strikes. That's line foul. It's 1-1. Nationals winning in Miami today, 3-0. That game's in the 5th. Big night last night for Ichiro.
What did he go, 4 for 4?
And he's closing in on 3,000 hits. He's 46 away now. How about Giancarlo Stanton? You and I were talking about that before the game. The big Marlins slugger having an awful time. In his last 17 at bats, Giancarlo Stanton has struck out 15 times. And over his last 48 at bats, Stanton has 4 hits and 26 strikeouts.
Something weird going on there, huh?
Got so bad last night that he took that face mask thing off of his batting helmet to try to help him see the baseball better. Didn't work. Marlins, though, beat the Nationals 3-2 yesterday. The pitch in the dirt. Jose Fernandez won yet again. He's now 21-1 on his home mound. It's been a struggle for Kelly. 2 runs in the second. He's given up a homer, 2 triples, a double among the Phillies' 5 hits. And a swing and a miss. Borges didn't get that. And Kelly has his first strikeout today. 2 outs.
It looked like a front door breaking ball. I don't know if that was by design or not, but it certainly worked. Target was away. Pitch was in.
A double and a walk for Odubel Herrera today. That evens the count.
He's been 90-91 on his fastball since the first inning.
Alexio Gondo is up in the Braves bullpen as Kelly approaches the 70 pitch mark. And he got hit. Second hit batsman of the inning.
Another one right on the hip pocket.
So 2 are on, 2 are out. And Hernandez with an 0 for 2 day. Didn't get that. Strike 1.
Hernandez had a good series against the Braves in Atlanta. Not perhaps with a bunch of hits, but he was hitting the ball hard, stinging it all over the park. Has not had that same type swing working here in this series. 1 for 7. Good pitch.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Melanoma Awareness Day here at Citizens Bank Park. Just had a big on the big screen between innings from Mike Schmidt, reminding people to be checked by their dermatologist and wear sunscreen, etc., etc. That was a nice message.
Little ground ball toward Freddie Freeman, who wears the long sleeves because of melanoma. And that will retire the side in the Phillies' 4th. They pick up their 3rd run of the day. It's 3-0.
Ball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
We head to the 5th inning. Phillies are trying to return the shutout favor to the Braves. Beat the Phillies yesterday 2-0. 3-0 for Jared Eichhoff, who missed high with ball 1 to Gordon Beckham. As I mentioned, Eichhoff has had much better luck on his home mound than he has away from Citizens Bank Park. As this one's hit toward Borges in right, he's got it. 1 out. Eichhoff winless in 4 decisions with an ERA over 6.5 on the road. He's 1-2 and a sub-3 ERA at home. And that's how he's pitching against the Braves today.
Yeah, and this is not a pitcher's haven in Citizens Bank Park.
One up, one down for AJ. And he swings at the first pitch. And Hernandez drifts back. He's called off by Peter Borges. 2 up, 2 down. And Daniel Castro is coming up. Nice long homestand coming up for the Braves beginning Tuesday night.
I'm looking forward to that matchup.
The Brewers are in town. Julio Teheran and Jimmy Nelson. Mike Fultonevich and Javi Guerra. Junior Guerra. And then Thursday it's Matt Whistler and Willie Peralta. Next weekend the Marlins are in town. 3-game series Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday at 5:05. Then 4 with the Giants on Memorial Day, a 1:10 start. So if you're planning on coming to the ballpark over Memorial Day weekend, check your schedules. 4 games, 4 different start times. And a liner to first, and that'll take care of Atlanta. 3 outs on 7 pitches. Halfway through game 3 in Philly. Mets won 5-4 yesterday. As this ball's popped up into shallow right. Long run Markakis. He can't get there. And it's a blue pit for Franco to start the home 5th. His first hit of the day.
And just his second of the series. Braves have handled him pretty well despite some hard hit balls. They've managed to get him to hit it at people. Not that one.
Joseph's 0 for 2. He has fly to right and popped out to A.J. Pierzynski. And that one up and in. It ricochets off the signage behind home plate, in between the plate and third base. A very wild pitch. 2 Phillies batters have been hit already today.
Yeah, I would think people in the Phillies dugout are getting it's getting their attention, especially up in that area. Last night that pitch just missed Franco. That came up and in, hit his bat.
That's Larry Boa on Pete McCannon's staff in the Phillies dugout. 1 ball, no strikes. Up and away. Ball 2. More action in the Braves bullpen. Alexi Ogando was up earlier. Looks like Eric O'Flaherty is throwing now. And ball 3. Braves trying to buy another inning out of Kelly here. He's due to hit first when the game gets to the 6th inning. A single and a wild pitch and a 3-0 count might force Brian Snitker's hand earlier than he'd like. 3-1. Popped up. Long run Freeman slowing in foul ground and in on the grass. And Joseph is retired. 1 away for Cameron Rupp.
Yeah, that would be the best possible scenario, I think, is 1 more inning here for Kelly before you pinch hit for him. Just save the bullpen 1 inning of work.
Line into center field, even with the shift. No chance for Beckham to handle that hot rocket into center. And Cameron Rupp has a 2-hit game and a 5-game hitting streak. And the Phillies have first and third with 1 out. And out comes the pitching coach for another visit.
High curveball hanger right back at you. I tell you what, Cameron Rupp has figured some things out. Of course, he's got a great pitch to tee off on there, but he is squaring up a lot of balls against the Braves. Remember that bases loaded double he hit to win a ball game in Atlanta, and a home run and a line shot single here today.
So Rob Drake didn't bother joining the Braves confab on the mound that time. He's back behind the dish as Freddie Galvis steps in. He's 1 for 2 with a triple and a run scored. Double play though gets you out of the inning. Let's see if Kelly can get the ball on the ground here. It's bunted in the air, and Kelly hangs onto the baseball. So Galvis pops out. 2 down.
That helps.
And here's Goodell. We talked about this early in the series, what impressive work Philadelphia has done in the Rule 5 draft. They had Odubel Herrera, their center fielder. Now Goodell, who's swinging a hot bat. Shane Victorino, a former Rule 5 pick here and a star during the glory days for the Phillies.
And they get the first pick in the draft.
Swinging bunt. Kelly's got it with a backhand. Throws to first in time. And boy, nice job to minimize the damage here in the Phillies' 5th. A pop-up bunt helped his cause. We go to the 6th. 3-0 Titans. Tell you about Grammy Award winner Chris Stapleton. As you know, he's taken the country music scene by storm, and he's coming to Turner Field a week from today for a free post-game concert, all part of the Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines Summer Concert Series. Visit Braves.com/concerts and get your tickets today. The 29th of May will feature the Braves and the Marlins. That game on Sunday, take note, starts at 5:05 Eastern Time. Braves live at 4:30 as the Braves and Marlins will wrap up their three-game series in Atlanta.
That'll be a great concert.
Reed Brignac will pinch hit for Kelly here as we've hit the sixth inning. Atlanta's gotten one man to second base today, and that was Daniel Castro in the third inning. Braves have a total of 2 hits.
Reed's had a good road trip, 3 for 6 on the trip. All in limited playing time.
And that's taken low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kelly, 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, a walk, a strikeout, a wild pitch, 2 hit batsmen, and a home run in his 85 pitches. That's up and in, and the count 2-2. Eichhoff has made 7 straight quality starts here on his home mound. He's off to an excellent start so far today and trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. As you said, you get a few early runs, takes a lot of the pressure off. And he got 2 in the second and 1 in the fourth.
Yeah, I don't think you're as fine as you are when you're either tied or behind, when you're trying to nibble and not make any mistakes that might put you further behind. He's got some room to breathe today.
Alex Smith will follow Brignac here in the 6th inning. Ender Inciarte's due 3rd. Rupp couldn't hang on. And he'll see pitch number 8 for Mr. Brignac.
Good battle.
You bet. Pitch number 10 coming up. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. And Brignac is retired for out number 1.
Struck out 2 batters in the first inning. This is the first strikeout since. The tight spin on that curveball. Good downer. Brignac upset that he put that kind of battle up, but struck out.
A moral victory, though, with 10 pitches seen by Brignac, but he's the first out. Alex Smith is up, and he showed bunt and takes low. 1 ball, no strikes. He showed bunt again.
Alex saying that ball hit him.
The Braves, I think, are going to take a look.
to tell Rob Drake it hit him in the foot. If it did, it was a grazing blow as he was pulling his foot back and hard to see.
Not enough to challenge. Two balls, one strike. And a base hit the other way from Alex. Nice at bat. And that's the third Braves hit of the game. In this ballpark, a 3-run margin is not much.
Fastball away. Hit it where it was pitched and hit it sharply.
Let's see what NCRT can do with a man aboard and one out. Ender has hit the ball in the air twice and is 0 for 2.
It's not raining, is it? So a little bit of like raindrops on Malex's helmet.
Now Malex wants to groom the infield dirt. Get a trowel.
Because of what you were saying, Chip, the fact that anybody can step up and hit one out of this ballpark, it makes you draw the reins in a little bit on a guy trying to steal.
And Eichhoff just balked. So Mallex Smith forced him to quick pitch. And Mallex Smith at second on Eichhoff's balk.
It was so bad that it caused that it caused Mallex Smith to head back to first base when he juggled his hands like that.
So that helps. A hit means a run now for NCRT, who's knocked in 2 Braves this year. And ground ball right side. That'll be scooped up by Hernandez, and NCRT's out number 2. The Braves finally have a man to third base. It comes here in the 6th inning. It costs him a second out, and Darno's the hitter, who's 0 for 2.
Chase was in the Phillies organization last year, hit .268 in AAA with 5 homers. He's up with the big club for 17 at bats. 3 for 17 with a triple. And a bunch of strikeouts.
That missed, ball 2. You've got Freddie Freeman on deck. If Darno could reach, Braves would have the right man up at the right time.
Great story last night from Chase, wasn't it, about telling us about going to baseball practice, his mom driving him to practice, and they had to sing on the way because she was an accomplished opera singer.
Right. Chase and Travis, his brother who plays with the Mets, used to sit in the back seat on their way to Little League practice, and their mom used to, I guess you could say, force them to, but asked them very nicely to sing the arias from the Phantom of the Opera.
He said there was one note that Travis could hit that even his mom couldn't hit. He said, pretty impressive.
We asked him in the restaurant in the hotel last night about 10 o'clock if he'd like to try, and he said, yeah, maybe not the best idea. But now you know where Chase's musical ambitions come from. Very well-spoken young man out of Pepperdine.
Well, you know the Phillies want to pitch to him. They don't want to pitch to Freddie. Comes back with 2 quick strikes.
Alex Smith at third, 2 outs. And the crowd in Philly wants a resolution here. The 2-2 pitch. It's a full count. Three balls, 2 strikes. And ball 4, they will have to pitch to Freddie Freeman. That's a big at bat for d'Arnaud. And Freddie Freeman is our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature.
And he has been against the Phillies. He's been tearing them up. 6 games, .455 average, 4 of his 8 homers, 6 of his 15 RBIs. Right man, right place. As Eichhoff was a little too careful there, trying to retire d'Arnaud, and he walked him.
8 home runs have been hit by Freddie Freeman in this ballpark, the most he's hit in any road ballpark in the big leagues. 1 here would tie it up. And a shot to first, a line drive right at Joseph, and that retires the side. Freddie hits a line drive to first, and the Braves are out of luck in inning number 6.
In Philadelphia going into the bottom of the 6th, and there's a little fun before the game. Some of you may have seen on social media recently, Jose Fernandez got arrested by Philly the Fanatic for stealing his keys. Well, today Jeff Francoeur had a little fun with his former team, and he made the mascot do the chop 4 times before he gave him his keys back, and everybody loved it in this dugout and all over social media.
Yeah, the Fanatic was then struck by lightning. That was what he was doing there for doing the chop. Kelsey, that was pretty good stuff.
Eric O'Flaherty is on for the Braves as the Phillies come up in the 6th inning. He's got Eichhoff, Borges, and Odubel Herrera. Long run for Freddie Freeman, and nice catch. Great grab. Phillies are looking out for outfield help. You never know.
20th game for Eric, 4th on this road trip. Braves comeback might give him his first win of the year. Freddie Freeman hit that ball so hard to end the inning.
Toward third, Darno knocked it down. Makes the play. Eichhoff hits it hard, but he's retired for the first out.
Everybody on the Phillies team kind of froze even after Joseph caught the ball that Freddie Freeman hit, because they just figured it was somewhere down the line and in the corner. Cameron Rupp, the catcher, never moved for the longest time.
So a tough break for Freeman, who hit it on the button. The Braves shut out through 6. And popped out of play by Borges, who has an RBI hit and 2 tries for Phillies. This is a typical Philadelphia game. Each of their last 15 wins have come by 3 or fewer runs. That's the second longest such streak in franchise history. They had a stretch in the 73-74 seasons where they had 20 straight close wins of 3 or fewer runs. As Borges lines out, 2 up, 2 down. This is how they played all year. They get good starting pitching, excellent bullpen work, and somehow they've been able to scratch across just enough to win 24 against 19 losses. Herrera's reached base 3 times. He's doubled, he's walked, and he's been hit by a pitch. His first inning double snapped an 0 for 11 slide. And a bunt try is in front of the Braves dugout. Strike 1. He almost got hit again. That ball was tipped.
Yeah, that was a swing. No signal of a foul tip there, Chip. I think Rob Drake was just saying, he pointed at him and said, that's a strike on you for the swing.
Ground ball right side. Freeman's got it. O'Flaherty late to the bag, and that's going to cost him. And Herrera reaches with 2 outs.
Eric reacted, but not in time.
That's a tough guy to try to beat in a foot race. Infield hit for Herrera. And Cesar Hernandez is up with an 0 for 3 day.
Been on base 4 times today, and I think he's getting the groundwork over there ready for a stolen base attempt. He was doing a lot of smoothing out before O'Flaherty got back to the mound. I don't know if he'll run on the left-hander or not, but he seems to be a little wired up after those close calls on the pitches.
That's taken low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Phillies have 4 switch hitters on their team. Blanco, Emmanuel Burris, Galvis, and Hernandez.
It's a nice bonus for any manager to have. Runner goes, and a hit and run, or a run and hit, whichever way you want to call it. It was executed beautifully by the Phillies. They've got him at the corners with 2 outs.
Well, the Phillies have been getting a lot of pitches up today. I think the long road trip is catching up to some of the Braves pitchers in terms of maybe some fatigue because they're having a hard time getting the ball down.
O'Flaherty goes 2/3 of an inning, allows 2 singles, and Brian Snitker goes deeper into his bullpen, down 3-zip.
Sherwin-Williams, your local Ford dealer. And Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Beautiful views of Independence Hall here in Philadelphia, where the Phillies lead Game 3 of our series by a 3-0 score. Fans, we take a look at Alexi Ogando, who's on for his 20th outing. Ogando, a .320 earned run average.
He's pitched an awful lot. 5th outing for him on this road trip. Actually, the 6th. 1 in Kansas City, 3 in Pittsburgh, and now 2 here.
Miguel Franco, the man in the box. He's 1 for 3 today. The Phillies have 9 hits. And that missed low and away, ball 1. Backhanded stop by AJ. 2 balls, no strikes.
Good bluff by Hernandez. Almost caused AJ to come up out of his crouch too soon. Keep an eye on Hernandez here.
Again, he broke but stopped. 3 balls and a strike. Broken bat pop. Can Markakis get there? He's going to dive. He can't. 1 run is in. Here comes Hernandez around third. The throw to the plate is going to be late. Throw back to second is high. And Franco is tagged out. So a blue pit falls in front of Nick Markakis. The Phillies add 2 runs in the 6th inning, both charged to O'Flaherty. And the Phillies extend their lead to 5-0. A number of blue pits on this road trip, a bunch of them in Pittsburgh, 1 here by Franco, costs him 2 more runs.
Yeah, it was a broken bat flare that Nick was that close to making the catch on to end the inning. And when the throw went into second base, Juan Samuel didn't hesitate, sending Hernandez all the way from first on the single.
So the Phillies extend their lead to 5-0. And a big lead for Jared Eichhoff. He has pitched impressively. He's allowed the Braves 3 singles. Atlanta's gotten 1 man to third base today. Eichhoff has struck out 3. He has walked 1. And the 4, 5, 6 hitters are coming up. Herrera in center, retreats and makes the catch. Markakis is 0 for 3. One man down. Hope you'll stay tuned for Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. That will follow Game 3 here in Philadelphia. Jerome Jurinovich, Nick Green are standing by in our Atlanta studios. Gordon Beckham is also 0 for 2. Excuse me. A 1-4-3 put out in the second inning, flied out to right in the fifth. Line to short. Galvis hardly had to move. 2 down.
You know, the line drive last inning by Freddie was really a turning point in this ball game. Right at Joseph. Likely would have gotten into the right field corner and tied the game. Excuse me, made it 3-2.
Phillies with 3 straight hits with 2 outs in the 6th. Plated a couple of insurance runs. Now AJ digs in. And that's off the plate, ball 1.
And remember that rally last inning started with O'Flaherty not getting to the base to cover.
Broken bat, and AJ has a 2-out single of his own.
That one just snapped off the end of the bat.
Tell you what, AJ's got the strike zone covered as far as his swings today, doesn't he?
Well, that was down and in. His first contact today was almost helmet high. Ground ball to second.
So man at first, Daniel Castro, 2 outs. As the lights have come on here at the bank vault. Gray breezy day after an awful weather day yesterday. Oh, 0-2. Ian Cole will be next out of the bullpen, it appears, for the Braves. And a flinch. Galvis was headed to the dugout for the Phillies.
That is a good curveball, and he's had good command of it today and hasn't overused it.
That one's into left field for a base hit. AJ around second is on his way to third, and there will be no throw. Atlanta has runners at the corners now with 2 out. Ball gets away, but not far enough for AJ to come scampering home. So Castro has a 2-hit day, and Kelly Johnson grabs a bat. He'll come on to pinch hit.
Well, he threw that curveball one too many times to Castro. Hanger up and in.
Just 81 pitches for Eichhoff in the game. First and third, 2 outs for Kelly.
You know, I remember in Atlanta in that start Eichhoff had against the Braves on May 11th, Chip talking about how he just threw curveball after curveball, way too many. And it cost him.
Kelly's had good luck against the Phillies right-hander. He's 4 for 8 head-to-head. chopped into the seats foul. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Broken bat. Joseph, nice play, takes the short hop and the fast route to the first base bag. And Eichhoff is pumped up. He allowed a couple of 2-out hits in the 7th, but he heads to the stretch with a 5-0 shutout working in Game 3 on his home mound. Braves are down 5-0. Spencer Memorial Day weekend at Turner Field when the Braves take on the Marlins and Giants Friday, May 27th through Memorial Day, Monday, May 30th. We've got the Chipper and Freddie ATV bobblehead on the 28th and Chris Stapleton coming up on the 29th. Go to Braves.com/tickets today. The pitcher for Atlanta, left-hander Ian Kroll. And let's take a look at today's Toyota key play.
Well, it was the line shot that Freddie hit with runners on the corners and 2 out a couple of innings ago. I mean, if that ball gets over Joseph's head, it's a double. Look at Cameron Rupp's reaction too. He was still stunned sitting behind home plate. He didn't leave the home plate area for a while. And after Freddie smoked that ball and hit it right at the first baseman.
That's what's so maddening and engaging about this game. A man can hit a broken bat bloop that'll score 2 runs.
Yeah.
A man hits the ball right on the button and it's an out. And that was the fate of Freddie Freeman as we head to the home 7th. And Tommy Joseph starting for Ryan Howard today. Howard benched after a 1-for-16 stretch. Phillies taking a look at Joseph against right-handed pitching. Now he faces a lefty here in his 4th time up. This is Kroll's 6th outing on the trip. No runs allowed in 4 of his first 5 appearances. 1 run in 3 1/3 innings. Pop back our way and into the upper deck. As the Fanatic has made another appearance, he's standing on top of the Phillies dugout. Strike 3. Kroll gets Joseph looking.
Big high curveball got the call. I'm not sure AJ Brzezinski he looked like he was ready to throw that back to Kroll. You take it?
Yep. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Rupp. He got the scoring started for the Phillies with a line drive homer down the right field line. It stayed fair when the wind was really gusting. His second homer. Phillies got another run after a Goodell triple and a Borges RBI hit with 2 outs. They got another run in the 4th inning. 2 off O'Flaherty in the 6th. Next challenge for the Phillies. Tough stretch of games. They're in Detroit for 3. They go to Wrigley to play the Cubs with a Chicago off day. As that one is up the middle. Rupp has a 3-hit game. Then they come home to start a long homestand with the Washington Nationals. Nice job for Rupp.
Off the end of the bat, but he'll take it. Three for 12 against the Braves in 3 games coming into today's game, and he's got a 3-hit game just today. 4 RBIs total.
Freddie Galvis has tripled and scored today. Velasquez, Hellickson, and Nola will pitch for the Phillies in that series against the Tigers. Mike Pelfrey, Justin Verlander, and Anibal Sanchez will go for the Tigers. Swing and a high fly ball down the left field line. That is out of play foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. I think Cameron Maybin's back for Detroit too, the former Brave. Hope he's doing well. Cameron did a great job for the Braves last year. And a base hit the other way. Galvis has a 2-hit day. So Kroll in trouble in the 7th. 2 on, 1 out.
Another pitch that was up, and sometimes you hear us talking about a guy pitching deeper into the ball game to save the bullpen, or a guy who actually didn't pitch well giving the Braves another inning or 2 to save the bullpen. Well, this is the lingering effects of what you're seeing from a road trip where they've been used a lot. It's just everybody's tired. We got an off day tomorrow. That will help everybody recover for the homestand. But at the end of this long road trip, everybody's used up.
Popped up behind the plate. AJ is there, and he makes the play.
I think he's been practicing.
And Andres Blanco is going to be the hitter with 2 outs. That'll end the day for Eichhoff. By my count, I've got 32 appearances out of the Braves bullpen among players that are still on this roster on a 10-day road trip. That tells you how busy they have been.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So Blanco in the 7th. Eichhoff with 7 shutout innings, allowed just 5 hits. Straightaway center off the bat of Blanco, and Malik Smith is there. We are off to the 8th inning. Braves are down to their final 6 outs. They trail 5-0.
Atlanta Braves baseball is sponsored by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. And Synovus, the bank of here.
5-0. Phillies have the lead as we get set for inning number 8. Hope you'll join us Saturday, May 28th for the giveaway of the year. The Chipper Rescues Freddy ATV bobblehead. That's free for the first 20,000 fans through the turnstiles at Turner Field. Go to Braves.com/tickets and get yours today.
Was that Freddie on the back of that, or was that Ryan Reynolds, the actor? You take a look at that. I'm not sure.
I'll have to look and see again.
Yeah.
As Hector Neris comes in, he's been a part of this terrific Phillies bullpen trio of David Hernandez and Jeanmar Gomez as well.
Throws hard, low to mid 90s with an excellent split finger pitch.
Malik Smith greets him first and takes a ball low. Malik's is 1 for 2. Braves left him stranded at third base in the 6th inning. One of 2 Braves that have gotten to third base in this game. Eichhoff was much more impressive in this start than he was in Atlanta. Phillies right-hander didn't allow a run, 5 hits in 7 innings of work, and he's in line for his 2nd win of the season. Malik's with a bunt. Rupp pounces, throw to first, and got him.
Good try, just didn't get it on that soft area around home plate. Didn't get it hard enough out on the grass. It was just deadened by all that drying agent. Nice play by Rupp. Let's look at Neris and his average by right-handers against him at 0.49. That's 2 for 41 right-handed hitters. That's pretty effective.
Yeah. Inciarte's up there. Ender is 0 for 3 today. Not anymore. That one's going to get down in left center field. Odubel Herrera cuts it off, and Inciarte's aboard in the 8th inning.
Nice piece of hitting again by one of the Braves' left-handed hitters. Mallex Smith earlier today in the 6th inning took an outside pitch to left field. But not enough offense today to put anything together for a run.
Phillies have out hit the Braves 12-6. They lead in the run column 5-0. One ball, one strike. Zach Greinke's on the mound for Arizona today. He's beating the Cardinals 5-1 in the 5th inning. The game of the world tonight will feature the Cubs and the Giants out at AT&T Park in San Francisco. Hendricks and Bumgarner will be the starting pitchers. Jason Hayward, if you remember, got hurt the other day on a diving play up against the fence at AT&T Park. Made a great catch in the 1st inning of Arrieta's start and had to be helped off the field. He had an MRI. There's no structural damage, but Hayward's out of the lineup for the Cubs for the next 3 to 5 days, they say. And that one in the dirt evens the count at 2-2. Giants have won 9 of their last 10 games, and we will see them at the end of our upcoming homestand. Their pitching's been great.
Yeah, that'll be a good matchup tonight for those that care to tune in.
Raining in Pittsburgh, where the Rockies and Pirates try to finish up that series.
It's been raining there. I'm not even sure they got a full inning in. Might have been the 2nd inning when that started.
Makes life tough for Colorado. That's their lone visit to Pittsburgh this year. Dodgers play in San Diego later tonight. Padres won the game last night on a bases loaded walk to end the game. Game started by Alex Wood. He struck out 13 men for Los Angeles yesterday. He did that in 6 innings.
Wow, that's impressive.
Darno, a good battle here, keeps the at bat alive. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes. Popped up right side, and that's going to be playable for Hernandez. Darno is the 2nd out of the 8th inning. And here's Freddie Freeman. He deserves a little hitting luck. Let's see if he has some with Inciarte at first. Freddie 4 for 11 in the series. At the moment hitting .274 for the year. He has 8 of the Braves' 18 homers.
That appeared to be his split finger pitch. He'll probably feature a lot to Freddie here.
Runner goes, and from his knees, Rupp makes the throw. Did that hit Inciarte? I think it might have.
Well, that certainly surprised Rupp. Braves down by 5, and he was concentrating on this fastball in, and that's why he never even got his feet under him. Yeah, I think it did hit him.
So a hit might bring Inciarte home and spoil the shutout. He's got a huge lead. And that in for a strike. It's 2-1. With a shift on for Freeman and Galvis the lone man on the left side. Inciarte's got about a 35-foot lead from second.
With that good split finger, I don't know why he would want to throw anything else except just to keep him honest. Did you see Cameron Rupp? Before Neris stepped off, he just had a feeling that I don't think he knows what sign I gave him. He didn't even set up and give a target because he just had a notion he was going to step off, and he certainly did. Because they went through a series of signs about 3 times. Rupp's getting better and better back there.
Sure is. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he's got an excellent mentor in Carlos Ruiz.
And that's the truth.
Markakis waits on deck, but Freeman has to keep the inning alive. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Again to first. Joseph to a knee. Neris to the bag. And Freddie Freeman robbed again. And the Braves out of luck again. No runs, a hit. A man left. Last of the 8th. 5-0 Phillies. Five nothing Philadelphia. Fans follow Braves baseball live with the MLB.com @bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news and more. Download MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and your tablet. First pitch, and it's a broken bat bloop into center for Peter Borges. He's got a 2-hit game. Five Phillies have 2 or more hits so far today. And 13 hits equals their season high set April 23rd against the Brewers. More action in the Braves pen. I think that's Jason Grilli up and throwing for Atlanta. We've used O'Flaherty, Ogando, and Kroll so far in relief of Mr. Kelly, who started for the Braves the first time today. Herrera has been on base 4 times. You saw he has 2 hits. He's also walked and been hit by a pitch.
And the last time up, a 2-out infield hit when he beat O'Flaherty to the bag at first on a ground out. Borges has had trouble with that infield surface both times he's been on base today.
Yeah, we thought the Braves had him picked off in the second. Freddie asked for a review, but I guess the Braves didn't see enough to challenge the call at first. Nothing came of that. The inning ended with Borges at second base. Phillies got 2 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 2 more in the sixth. 2 balls, no strikes. Line back to the mound, throw to first, a double play, and that was self-defense.
I don't know how he got his glove up, Chip. Yeah, it'll take a minute. That was coming right back at his face. That was some kind of quick reaction to save himself.
So 2 outs after a scare for Kroll. And that one off the plate for Cesar Hernandez.
Kroll he's still trying to collect himself. Jean-Marc Gomez, their closer, loosening for the 9th.
Two balls, 1 strike. And now it's even. Swing and a miss. And a red badge of courage for Ian Kroll after spearing a comebacker to start an 8th inning double play. Last chance for Atlanta. 5-0 score. We remind you the Grammy Award winner Chris Stapleton's taken the country music scene by storm, and he's coming to Turner Field in a week from today for a free post-game concert, part of the Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines Summer Concert Series. Go to Braves.com/concerts and get your tickets today. This is one of the great stories for the Phillies in the first 2 months of the year. I don't think anyone expected Jeanmar Gomez, with all due respect to his talent, to be 16 out of 17 in saves.
And how about this? When you think about some of the closers they've had, he's the first Phillies pitcher in history, their history, with 16 or more saves in the team's first 41 games of the season.
They had Brad Lidge, who was perfect during the regular season and postseason. They had Jonathan Papelbon here. They've had Billy Wagner here. So that's an amazing number for Pete Maccannon's Phillies, who are 3 outs away from their 25th win. Jose Mesa, Steve Pedrosian, other terrific Phillies relief pitchers in their franchise history, but no one's done what Gomez has so far.
Bedrock. Hope Bedrock's doing well.
So let's see if the Braves can grind out a run or two, and maybe a whole lot more here in the ninth. Nick 0 for 3. And that's taken low. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's to the right side. That's scooped up by Cesar Hernandez, and an easy flip to first for out number 1. Don't forget, Braves Live presented by Xfinity is coming right up. We'll hear from Brian Snitker. We'll head to the clubhouse and hear from the players. Kelsey Wingert will take care of our post-game interviews, as well as the Braves are wrapping up a 10-game road trip with an off day looming tomorrow at home, and that will do everybody some good.
It will. I mean, as well as the Braves have played here at the tail end of this road trip, and really played well in Kansas City too. They just didn't have a whole lot to show for it, although they had a chance to win that series a week ago today. This has been a grueling trip.
It has. And factoring the competition, defending world champions, a 98-win team in Pittsburgh, and the Phillies, who were knocking at the door of first place in the East. The Braves had a chance for a 5-5 trip, and you made a great point about the relief corps. As good as the Braves' young pitching has been, and some of this factors into that extra inning game in Kansas City, for example, the relief corps appeared 32 times in 10 games.
Yeah, and again, that's a lot, and I think it showed today for the first time.
Strike 3 takes care of Gordon Beckham, and the Braves are down to their final out. It's A.J. Pierzynski who's 1 for 3. Rare offer for Gordon today. A.J. singled his last time up, a broken bat base hit. Jared Eickhoff, frankly, was in total command today. Set down the first 6, 9 of the first 10.
Well, rather than curveball first, he established his fastball, and then the curveball played off that and made it much more effective. And it's a good hook. It was very. He used it at the best of times, and I think Cameron Rupp had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, between Eickhoff and Aaron Nola, got at least 2 guys on their staff with an excellent breaking ball. Next time we see the Phillies will be on the road trip right before the All-Star break. That'll be an interesting trip for the Braves. Braves will host the Marlins 2 games in Atlanta July 1st and 2nd. Then Atlanta will go to Fort Bragg, North Carolina for the Fort Bragg game on Sunday night. And then we'll get to spend the 4th of July here in Philadelphia. 3-game series. Then we head to Chicago for a makeup game with the Cubs, 3 with the White Sox, and then the All-Star game. And a strike on a 3-0 count makes it 3-1 to the Braves catcher. Saw some pictures of that stadium they're building in Fort Bragg. It looks terrific.
They are hustling too.
That's in the air toward left. Goodell is there, and the Phillies avoid a sweep. They hang on and win 5-0 in 2 hours and 35 minutes. The Phillies have their 7th shutout. Braves blanked for a 4th time this year. And the Braves wrap up their road trip with a 4-6 record. That's your final. Joe and I will recap it from the bank vault right after this.